Welcome to this exciting video where we explore the top 3 most valuable Lincoln Memorial penny coins, everyday 1-cent pieces that turned into incredible collector treasures. Although millions of these pennies were minted, a few rare errors and special dates are now worth far more than their face value. Let's get started. First up, the Lincoln Memorial Penny 1963 coin with a D mint mark, shown here in circulated condition. This coin comes from a time when the 1-cent piece played a major role in everyday transactions. The year 1963 places this penny in the early 1960s, a period rich with historical change in the United States. This particular coin was struck at the Denver Mint, identified by the D mint mark. The D mint mark appears just below the date on the obverse. Denver Mint cents from this era were produced in very large quantities. In circulated condition, this penny shows honest wear from daily use. The color appears as a deep brown with traces of original copper tones. Circulation has softened the surfaces while preserving the main design. On the obverse, Abraham Lincoln's portrait remains the central focus. This iconic design was created by Victor David Brenner. Lincoln's profile is still clearly recognizable despite wear. Light wear is visible on Lincoln's hair and cheek. The word "Liberty" remains readable to the left of the portrait. The motto "In God We Trust" arches clearly along the top. The date 1963 stands out beneath Lincoln's bust. The D mint mark confirms its Denver origin. Small scratches and contact marks reflect years of circulation. These marks tell the story of everyday commerce. Despite wear, the obverse retains strong overall balance. Turning the coin over reveals the famous Lincoln Memorial reverse. This reverse design was introduced in 1959. It marked the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The Lincoln Memorial stands proudly at the center of the reverse. In circulated condition, the building's outline remains visible. Some of the finer columns are softened by wear. Even so, the structure is still easily recognizable. At the center of the memorial, Lincoln's seated statue can be seen. This tiny detail is one of the most admired features of the design. The inscription, "United States of America," is clearly readable. The phrase, "E pluribus unum," appears above the memorial. The denomination, 1 cent, stands bold at the bottom. Where on the reverse is even and consistent. There are no major bends or severe damage. The coin is composed of 95% copper. This gives it a warm tone beneath the surface wear. The edge is smooth, as expected for a cent. Circulated condition adds character and realism to the coin. This penny likely passed through countless hands. It may have been used in stores, schools, and homes. Coins like this were part of daily American life. In 1963, the penny had much greater purchasing power. It was common to receive multiple cents as change. The Lincoln Memorial cent became a familiar sight. Millions of 1963 D pennies were minted. This makes the coin common, but still historically meaningful. Collectors often begin with Lincoln cents. They are affordable and rich in history. Circulated examples are ideal for learning grading. They show how copper wears over time. Natural toning is preferred by collectors. Cleaning is generally discouraged. Original surfaces carry authenticity. This coin reflects the realities of circulation. Not every coin is saved in perfect condition. Some live long working lives. This penny clearly did just that. It represents everyday America of the early 1960s. The Lincoln Memorial design remained in use for decades. This consistency made the coin instantly recognizable. Children, adults, and collectors all knew this design. The Denver Mint played a major role in cent production. 1963 D cents are found in many collections today. Each example wears differently. That uniqueness adds personal character. This coin connects the present to the past. It reminds us how small coins shape daily life. Even a single cent carries history. The Lincoln Memorial penny tells a quiet story. It speaks of commerce, routine, and change. Circulated condition shows the coin's true purpose. It was meant to be used, not hidden away. This penny served its role faithfully. Now it stands as a small historical artifact. It reflects both design artistry and daily function. The 1963 D cent remains a favorite among collectors. It is simple, familiar, and meaningful. Coins like this make collecting accessible. They invite everyone into the hobby. This Lincoln Memorial penny continues to educate and inspire. It proves that even common coins have stories. Stories shaped by hands, time, and history. Next up, the Lincoln Memorial Penny 1995 coin without a mint mark, shown here in dirty circulated condition. This coin represents the everyday penny that many people remember from pocket change. The year 1995 places this cent in the final years of the Lincoln Memorial reverse design. Because there is no mint mark, this coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Philadelphia cents of this era were produced in extremely large numbers. This penny was clearly used extensively in daily circulation. In dirty condition, the coin shows darkened surfaces and heavy grime. The color appears deep brown to almost black in some areas. This discoloration comes from dirt, oils, and environmental exposure. Despite its condition, the coin still holds clear historical identity. On the obverse, Abraham Lincoln's portrait remains recognizable. The portrait was designed by Victor David Brenner. Lincoln's profile is worn, especially on the hair and cheek. Surface dirt has settled into the recessed areas of the design. The word "Liberty" is visible but softened by wear and grime. The motto "In God We Trust" is still readable across the top. The date 1995 remains visible beneath Lincoln's portrait. Dirt buildup surrounds the date and lettering. Scratches and contact marks show years of handling. Each mark reflects everyday use rather than careful storage. The obverse fields appear dark and uneven in tone. Turning the coin over reveals the Lincoln Memorial reverse. The memorial structure is visible but heavily worn. Many of the fine columns have blended together. The overall outline of the building remains clear. The seated statue of Lincoln inside the memorial is faint. This detail is often the first to disappear with wear. The inscription, "United States of America," is still readable. The phrase, "E pluribus unum," remains visible above the memorial. The denomination, 1 cent, stands out at the bottom. Dirt has collected heavily around the lettering. This creates dark contrast against worn copper surfaces. The reverse shows consistent wear across the entire design. The coin is composed of copper-plated zinc. By 1995, pennies were no longer solid copper. This change affected how coins aged in circulation. When the copper plating wears, darker tones often appear. The edge shows signs of wear and dirt buildup. This penny feels very light in hand. Its condition reflects long-term exposure to circulation. Coins like this often pass through countless transactions. It may have been used in stores, schools, or vending machines. Pennies in the 1990s were still commonly used. They were part of everyday pricing and change. This coin likely traveled through many locations. Each stop added wear, dirt, and surface damage. Collectors often overlook dirty modern cents. However, they are valuable for educational purposes. They show the true effects of circulation on zinc cents. Dirty condition helps illustrate grading standards. It also highlights why cleaning is discouraged. Improper cleaning can permanently damage the coin. Original dirty surfaces still carry authenticity. This penny tells a realistic and honest story. Not every coin is saved in shiny condition. Some are worked hard and forgotten. This 1995 cent clearly lived a long working life. It represents the final era of the memorial reverse. Just a few years later, the design would change. In 2009, the Lincoln Bicentennial cents were introduced. Later, the Union Shield reverse replaced the memorial. Coins like this mark the end of a long design run. The Lincoln Memorial cent lasted nearly 50 years. This penny was part of that long tradition. Even in poor condition, it remains instantly recognizable. Lincoln's portrait continues to be a symbol of unity. The memorial design reflects national remembrance. Dirty condition does not erase that meaning. Instead, it adds realism and context. This coin shows how money moves through society. It reflects routine, repetition, and daily life. Each stain and scratch adds to its story. It may not be valuable in price, but it is valuable in experience. Collectors sometimes include such coins for contrast. They balance pristine examples with real circulation pieces. This penny helps tell the full story of U.S. coinage. It shows how modern cents age differently than older copper coins. It also shows the effects of heavy use. The 1995 no-mint mark cent is extremely common. Yet each example is unique in wear. That uniqueness gives even dirty coins character. This penny connects people to the 1990s. It recalls a time when cents still mattered more. Prices, habits, and money use were different. This coin passed quietly through that era. Now it serves as a small historical witness. It reminds us that coins are tools first. They are meant to be handled and spent. Only later do they become collectibles. This Lincoln Memorial penny fulfilled its purpose. It worked hard, wore down, and survived. Now it tells its story through dirt and wear. It stands as a reminder of everyday American life. History is not always clean or shiny. Sometimes it is dark, worn, and ordinary. Yet it is still real and meaningful. Next up, the Lincoln Memorial Penny 1973 coin without a mint mark, shown here in black circulated condition. This penny comes from an era when cents were still an important part of everyday American spending. The year 1973 places this coin in the early 1970s, a time of economic change and rising prices. Because there is no mint mark, this coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Philadelphia produced massive numbers of cents during this period. This example clearly saw long and heavy circulation. In black circulated condition, the coin shows darkened surfaces across both sides. The black color comes from oxidation, dirt, and long-term handling. This appearance is common on older copper cents that were heavily used. Despite its dark tone, the coin's identity remains clear. On the obverse, Abraham Lincoln's portrait is still recognizable. The design was created by Victor David Brenner. Lincoln's facial outline remains visible beneath the dark patina. Heavy wear is noticeable on the hair, cheek, and jawline. The word "Liberty" is present but softened by wear and darkening. The motto "In God We Trust" can still be read along the top. The date 1973 remains visible beneath Lincoln's portrait. Dark buildup has settled into recessed areas of the design. Scratches and contact marks show years of everyday use. These marks reflect a long working life in circulation. The obverse fields appear dull and uneven in color. Turning the coin over reveals the Lincoln Memorial reverse. The memorial structure is visible but heavily worn. Many of the fine column details have blended together. The overall shape of the building remains easy to recognize. The seated statue of Lincoln inside the memorial is faint. This small detail often disappears first on worn cents. The inscription, "United States of America," is still readable. The phrase, "E pluribus unum," remains visible above the memorial. The denomination, 1 cent, stands out at the bottom. Dark toning surrounds the lettering and devices. This creates strong contrast against worn copper surfaces. The reverse shows even wear across the entire design. The coin is composed of 95% copper. This solid copper composition contributes to the dark coloration. Over time, copper reacts with air and moisture. This reaction creates black and brown patina. The edge of the coin is smooth, as expected for a cent. The edge also shows darkening from circulation. This penny feels light and familiar in hand. Coins like this passed through countless transactions. It may have been used in grocery stores or school cafeterias. Pennies in the 1970s were still widely accepted. They played a real role in pricing and change. This coin likely traveled through many pockets and jars. Each stop added wear and surface darkening. Collectors often overlook black circulated cents. However, they are valuable learning tools. They clearly show how copper ages over time. This condition helps illustrate grading differences. It also explains why cleaning is discouraged. Cleaning can damage surfaces and reduce authenticity. Original dark patina is preferred by experienced collectors. This penny tells a realistic and honest story. Not every coin survives in bright condition. Some live long, hard lives in circulation. This 1973 cent clearly did exactly that. It represents everyday America of the early 1970s. The Lincoln Memorial design was deeply familiar to the public. It had already been in use for over a decade. Children and adults alike recognized this penny instantly. The memorial reverse symbolized remembrance and respect. Even in dark condition, that symbolism remains. The Philadelphia Mint played a major role in cent production. 1973 cents are extremely common in quantity, but heavily circulated examples like this stand out. They show real use rather than storage. Each worn coin has its own unique pattern. No two circulated pennies look exactly the same. That uniqueness adds character to even common coins. This penny connects us to a different time. A time when a cent still felt useful. Prices, habits, and money all felt different. This coin quietly witnessed those changes. Now it serves as a small historical artifact. It reminds us that coins are tools first. They are meant to be spent and handled. Only later do they become collectibles. This Lincoln Memorial penny fulfilled its purpose. It worked hard and shows it proudly. The black patina tells its full story. History is not always shiny or clean. Sometimes it is dark, worn, and ordinary. Yet it remains meaningful and real. This penny proves that condition does not erase history. It simply adds another layer to the story. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoy long, smooth, and realistic stories about everyday American coins, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more journeys through circulated numismatic history.